and you're just on the other side of this kid, and you throw one, and he clicks it, and you look at him and ask him for the time, and he says, like, or you say 380 or whatever, and he looks and he says, like, 384, and you say, you better work on your fingering, kid. I just fucking lost it. I mean, the kid's off by 400ths of, he's like a 10-year-old, and he's off by 400ths of a second.
Hey everybody, welcome to Curly Nation Season 5, Episode 4, The Bear and the Biscuit. We got a fun episode. We got Kevin Martin's actually in the house today. Staying at my house, we're doing a Kevin Martin Curling Academy here in Madison. He does a good job with these folks. If you need to teach people how to curl, he knows what he's doing. He's won some things here and there. But first, we need to thank our sponsors, Modus Financial. If you need a credit card processing system, you know how we got payment for all this people coming to the Kevin Martin Curling Clinic is we had Modus Financial do it. Like, we just set up a very easy system on our WordPress site, and Modus took care of the rest. So if you're a curling club, you need to take payment. If you need to take credit card, it's a lot easier than doing all the checks.
Boom.
Your treasurer of your club will thank you for this. Visit moduscc.com for all your credit card processing and point of sale needs. Also, Endgame Curling. Croy made a really good broom. He's got the Icon out now. The what's the first one called?
Origin.
The Origin one, which I have, is really good. He's got a travel broom, which is surprisingly strong.
Yep.
He's got a non-slip silicone sleeve. The most economical broom head replacement out there. All you gotta do is change the fabric. You keep the pad, you keep the head, and all you do is change out the fabric. So it's economical. It's also cheaper to replace your fabric, and you probably should replace your fabric more than you do. So visit endgamecurling.com to get a good broom from Croy. He's got Club Fabric, World Curling approved fabric as well. So, but
and you've got a baby in your arm while you're giving this intro.
Doing the intro.
Yep, this is Margot. This is why we're only on episode 4 as of this point in the podcast timeline. But we're working on it. So, hi Margot. She's super excited for this. Yeah. So, all right. We don't have any updates right now. We're just gonna get to Kevin. So, here we go.
All right, we got a great show today, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Real treat. We got an in-studio guest all the way from Edmonton, Alberta. Some have called him the greatest of all time. He's won a whole bunch. We can probably talk about some of those things. Welcome to the studio. Welcome to Wisconsin, Kevin Martin.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here. Finally here. We've been talking about it for many years.
Trying to do it for a long time.
So this is good. Just arrived. We just barely arrived. Of course, flights were delayed.
Yeah.
So, normal.
Hey, Joel, I just thought of it during the intro there. Yeah. We've got an in-studio guest. Where's our bacon?
Oh, it's in the fridge.
Okay, Joel will be right back. He's going to get our in-studio treats.
We got some, it's been a day.
That's understandable. Joel is maybe 3/4 awake, half awake maybe.
He's
right now.
He's got a new baby.
1 month.
One month
old Margot.
Yeah. You're doing great, Joel. You're
1 month.
You're doing dynamite, man.
1 month old today. Here comes our bacon. It's going to go in the toaster oven and warm up, I imagine, a little bit. All right, we'll talk, and then we'll have bacon in a little while.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Good. It's
good? Yeah.
Smell better and better all the time.
1 month old, and she's still alive. So
hey, congratulations.
And getting the second chin, getting the rolls going.
Yeah. She's
healthy. It's perfect.
Yeah, she's getting a little pudge. So
Okay, perfect.
Heck yeah. Congratulations, gold star on that.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Kevin, you are in town to do, what do you call it officially? The Kevin Martin Curling Academy?
Yeah, officially. Yeah, the academy at the club. Absolutely. So fun, excited.
Doing a few sessions in Madison here, and you've expanded that in the States quite a bit in the last few years.
In the last year and a half, actually, which is, I think, important. The U.S., if you travel around the U.S. a lot, curling is growing at an incredible rate. What I guess where there's a bit of maybe a void is in the instruction part in the U.S. So to come and like we talked about, Joel, when we were talking about well, who would you like to have help? Well, whoever teaches the learn to curls, that's who I'd love to have on the ice with me. And that's kind of the goal here in the next few years, is to work with more and more of the teachers of the game here, and then also with the top athletes. So I've been, Corey Dropkin and I've been working together now for quite a few years, and had actually Corey both at the summer camp in Blaine last year. So just trying to get more and more involved in the U.S., which is great. The sport is growing so fast, and that's a good thing. It's funny. It's no different than a business. You grow really, really fast. It's a great thing, and kind of bad. It's kind of good, kind of bad.
Yeah.
How do you keep control of it?
Yeah, because I've talked to, I'm not going to name names or clubs, but I've talked to other people where they've grown really fast and they're excited about it, but some of their leagues are just absolute pure fucking chaos. Because like there's a bunch of new curls out there who don't know what to do because nobody taught them yet.
Right.
So,
which
like,
is great.
Great they're curling, but like
it's normal. Garnet Ekstrand, who passed away, for one of my best friends, he when he went to Kalamazoo, Michigan, he moved from Canada and started a club there, an arena club first.
Yep.
And then my nickname with back home, it's the old bear in like around the curling circles, but back home was always Biscuit.
Okay.
So anyway, so he phoned a Biscuit. Like we had at that time Kalamazoo.
your nickname was Biscuit?
Back home, nothing to do with curling. Right. Just
okay.
Yep. And anyway, so they had a
bear and the Biscuit.
So at the arena club, when they got going, there's 157 members.
Okay.
And he said, out of the 157 members, we have 6 skips. So fine. Anyway, whatever. It's all good. And then it got to be a dedicated club, and did really well, and still does really well, but really started to grow and doing excellent. And anyway, so he phoned Biscuit. You've got to come and do an academy here. Like we've got at that time, I forget if it was 351 or 376, something like that, members. But we still only have 6 skips. So we got to get a school going here. Yeah. And anyway, so they just had an unreal time in Kalamazoo. That was quite a few years ago now. They'd remember what year. I don't, unfortunately. I can't remember, but it's probably, I don't know, 8 years ago or 10 years ago.
All right.
Lots of fun.
Where'd you grow up?
Lougheed, Alberta. So a town of 200, about 2 hours east of Edmonton, Alberta. 2-sheeter.
Okay.
Yeah, a little wee town, and but curling club was kind of the middle of it.
Sure.
It was right beside the hockey rink, but great food, and they had the snake pit in the basement. They didn't have a bar upstairs, snake pit down below, and so.
Time out. Snake pit.
Yeah. What is
a bar?
The bar.
Okay. It's just called the snake pit. That's what the bar was called. Or
yeah, that's all I ever knew it was.
Or is that a Canadian term for a bar? I don't know.
The downstairs at the Lougheed Curling Club, I only ever knew it as
the snake pit.
Okay,
got it.
I think that is I'm not sure I'm going to say a common term, but I think it's a term that's was used at multiple clubs where the bars were in the basement. Like, because West Kildonan in Winnipeg, I think that club is closed now as well, it's closed. But I believe that one they called that
a basement
snake pit. Yeah, it was a basement bar.
Okay.
Anyway, that's just how I grew up. Yeah.
Oh, the doc.
Yeah, that's where he used to curl.
Okay.
But I've heard the term before.
Okay.
Not just
and the Lougheed Club is still doing fine. Yeah, they just put in a new, I think it was a chiller or a plant. They just put it in, and still
just a little 2-sheeter.
Oh yeah, the town only has maybe 180 people in it now. Like it's a small place.
Has a 2-sheet curling club.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, the club's doing fine. Oh yeah, and away you go. Yeah, Bonsteels and having fun.
Wow, that's great. Maybe we should go to Bonspiel at the Lougheed Curling Club.
Maybe.
That'd be great.
How far is it from Saskatchewan then? Must not be.
Not very. Provost, which is pretty much near the border, would be an hour and a half. So yeah, less than 2 hours.
Got it.
Border. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, you're right in the middle of curling country there. Like there's a million little clubs in all the small communities, and really cool.
What'd your family do when you were growing up? Were you farmers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Mom and Dad still live on the farm, actually. Yeah, they don't farm anymore.
Sure.
My sister and their family bought the land from Mom and Dad quite a few years ago now. But yeah, they're still on the farm. And lots of the farmers, of course, would curl. But that populations went down because the farmers get bigger.
Sure.
So that's kind of one of the rural problems with curling is the amount of people you can draw from. Because Lougheed, we have a 2-sheeter. And then Sedgwick, which is only 6 miles away, has a 4-sheeter.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can imagine, and Hardesty, the other direction, 11 miles, has 3. And we're not talking about a lot of people here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You know, and you've got
And
whatever.
are the
9
small,
sheets of
small
ice.
towns getting smaller?
For sure. Yeah. And a lot of the kids, when like myself, you move away, you don't tend, a lot of them
Don't tend to come back unless
yeah,
you're farmers. Yeah.
Right.
And I think with it's the same deal in small towns in the U.S. Those clubs haven't really experienced much of a gain since curling got into the Olympics. Because if you were in a small town, you already knew what curling was, and you either curled or you didn't, basically.
Yeah.
But where curling, I think, is doing so well is any place where there's a population center. Then, it's all these people that had never been exposed to it before are seeing it. And so all the big town clubs are
If they can
doing great. The small town ones are just kind of where they were.
Maintaining.
Or
hoping to maintain
hoping
or
to
slowly
maintain,
dying.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
also, like you're talking about with farms, I mean, the equipment nowadays, you can have half as many workers for twice as much land
Cuts down on
compared
the
to
curling club.
and then you don't need as many people around, or there's
Yep.
not as many people around to be members of the club. So anyways, I got nothing else to say about farming.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I didn't think this was going to be a farming podcast today, but apparently,
Yeah, we can talk about the farm report, but
Yeah.
I don't know the price of canola per bushel
Currently.
today.
yeah.
I didn't look.
You didn't look that up?
No.
That didn't come up today while you
Not
were shipping
today.
stuff for
No,
Christmas?
I was too busy.
Yeah.
So
Do you get busy for Christmas at the store? I would assume, or Boxing Day, I suppose, whatever
Well,
holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
From September through to Christmas is a busy time. Yeah.
Got it. You're busy, right?
yeah,
Craig?
I'm busy.
Great.
So my farm report is brisket right now at Costco is $4.50 a pound, and pork shoulder is $4.20. Sorry,
So how much is that a kilogram?
$2.29 a pound.
I was told there'd be no
about,
math.
about a half a kilogram.
I'm not sure what that is in kilometers for you, Kevin, but whatever. Who knows? Yeah, that's about all I got for farming. I made a bunch of pulled pork and brisket for the
There you go.
thing
Ready for
this
that.
weekend.
See, the problem if we're going to convert that not only to kilograms, we also have to throw in the exchange rate to the Canadian dollar.
Yeah,
and
we don't.
It's going to get all out of whack.
Let's.
So
What kind of stuff do you go over in your academies?
It
When
depends
you
on
come
which. I teach 3 different courses at the academies. One is
Okay.
technical, obviously how to curl better,
Mm-hmm.
how to throw the rock better. But then the roles and responsibilities. We started that about, I don't know, God, got to be 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago.
Okay.
And that's really showing be at the front end, what exactly your responsibilities are.
Sure.
And your roles. A lot of sweeping technique, because that's changed so much
Yep.
in the last couple of years. We do a lot of that. Back end, obviously, angle assessment is really important. Reading the ice is really important. And strategy, which is kind of a segues into the strategy and tactics session, which is a third.
Got it.
So there's 3 courses that we teach at the academy. Now, that's with the smaller academies, the ones where you're doing it like a 2-day.
Yeah.
Whereas the one in Blaine in June is a major academy, which is far more involved.
Okay.
That was like 3-4 days.
3 days of like 10-hour days. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Like it's tons.
My
Yeah.
brain hurts.
How do you
That's
stay
different.
warm?
That's different. Yeah. Well, some of it's off ice actually.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
Some of the training and some of the fitness stuff. And
Got it.
sports psych, nutritionist, like all that kind of
Is that for juniors and adults or everybody? Or
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, it's great to have I've been involved with junior curling forever. So I definitely lean towards the junior curling all the time, but it's for both, for sure.
John Morris told me a great story about your junior spiel a couple of years ago when he was here for the Double Down. and you may have lured him in with a potentially fallacious trip to Walt Disney World. There was potentially the carrot dangled of the winner of the Junior Bonspiel was going to win a trip to Walt Disney World. And I believe you told John Morris this. This is the story he told.
This is the story he told.
That would only be a John Morris memory.
John, we have our questions at the end of the show.
But it'd be fun to go to Disney World.
Yeah,
That's a fun place to go.
Yeah, it was a fun place to go. But the story he tells, I'll tell the Cliff Notes version is, you had a huge junior spiel in Edmonton
for many
years.
Yeah, 17 years or something. Yep.
John had just won, I think, Junior Worlds maybe just won Canada, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come out to this
junior spiel?" Sure.
This junior spiel, and he was like, sounded like he was kind of on the fence. And then you told him, winners of this junior spiel get to go to Disney World. We've got this prize for first place.
Okay.
So they went out there, and he goes, sure enough, we won. And he goes, yeah, we got up to the table, and Kev pulls me aside and is like, well, John, we never confirmed that trip to Disney World. And John had to go over and crush little Craig Saville's heart. Craig Saville was all excited.
Craig and Brent Lang, and I don't know who the other person was on the team.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Those two were on the team for sure.
Yeah, but he had to go over and tell Craig Saville.
I don't know of anything to do with Disney World. That's news to me. Yeah.
So John said he won some rollerblades. They got first pick, and he picked out some rollerblades.
Maybe
it was not.
I have an alternate version of this.
You have an alternate?
No. My imagination thinks that there was a girl that John wanted to spend some time with in Edmonton, try and flirt with a little bit at this junior spiel, and he told his team.
He spun a yarn that
he told his team that if they won, they'd get to go to Disney World, and then he just pinned it on Kevin as being a lie.
Interesting.
That's how I think this all played out.
No matter what, it's certainly the Johnny Moe memory that we're getting to witness here for sure. And I played with Johnny for many years, so
piecing some things
I understand.
together there that
we're aware.
This is not a surprise, but there was never. Oh, Walt Disney.
There was never a Walt Disney World trip mentioned. Okay.
There was never even a mention.
Well,
no. I can confirm that.
That's great. That makes the story even better.
Yeah. All good. No, you got to appreciate Johnny.
Where does he live? He lives down by Calgary?
Yes.
Somewhere?
Yeah, he moved from Canmore. He was in Canmore for a while with his wife and little ones. But now they've moved closer to Calgary. I'm not exactly sure where, but closer. Yeah, about a half hour away or something.
Got it. Oh, by the way, you asked him how he stays warm. I mean, this guy grew up in northern Alberta, where he doesn't.
How do you stay warm on the ice for 10 hours?
For 10 hours,
Oh.
He's used to being cold. Like he
Jesus.
grew up cold.
I
So
was trying to think of what the car said on the way to the airport this morning. Probably about -16 or something. Oh, now. What does that mean?
What
does that mean in Fahrenheit?
it's probably about
what's that in
0,
miles?
-5.
What's that in miles? I don't know.
Yeah.
-16 Celsius, whatever that equates to.
Got
Probably around 0. You're probably about right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think the
Not warm.
No.
coldest
Not
week
warm.
I ever lived, in my life, I think, was
This is in Edmonton.
I was with you. I was in Camrose at the Continental Cup. It was 40 below for 5 consecutive days.
And
One
Celsius and Fahrenheit's the same at
Yeah.
-40.
40 below,
That's-
yeah.
And there was
that's
one
what it
day it got up to -30 Celsius. And we were all
T-shirts.
like, holy cow, this is nice. You didn't have to sprint from the building into the car and from the car into the hotel.
It was 4 degrees when I left deer camp on Saturday morning. Fahrenheit, so just above 0 degrees.
So something
Fahrenheit,
like that. Same temperature.
Yeah, cold. It was cold.
Cold, yeah.
And that was terrible. 'cause
-16 is about 3 degrees.
There you go.
So basically 0.
Yeah,
right.
basically 0. And that was,
Beautiful.
I mean, well, we
Fresh.
had 40 4 days before that, so 40 to 0 was not ideal.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for it. That's fine. Whatever. Beside
You'll
the
get
point.
over it.
I'll get over it. Yeah.
You get the right hat.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with this hat. I'm supporting my local football club. I'm an owner. Do you own the club? You own
I think
Packer
so.
stock?
I think Dad bought
Our
some for
our
all
tackle
of us.
football team sells stock, and you can buy shares of stock.
They're meaningless.
They're
shares of
meaningless,
stock,
yeah. But you can vote on something at an annual meeting.
Can
but
you
it's
vote
pointless.
vote who the GM might be?
No, you can vote on the board of directors though, and I think the board of directors gets
picks the GM
help
or
pick the GM.
Picks somebody who picks the GM.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know.
There you go.
You've got a third of a third of third of a vote.
Not
we
even,
had nothing.
Something.
not even close to that amount. It'd be like having one vote in Microsoft shareholder meeting probably. So not much.
All right.
Okay.
But you're involved. You're
we're-
in the
yeah.
game.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically.
So you're involved in your Inside Curling podcast now for 4 years.
I think this is the 5th year.
5th year.
But 4 in a bit. Like yeah.
Yeah. So we're also in our 5th year. Have you successfully needled Canada enough to get done what you want to get done? Like,
We don't needle anybody.
I don't.
It's just a nice, soft, easygoing discussion podcast. But yeah, we there's some things that we tend to put forward sometimes, not just with Curling Canada though, but also World Curling, and that may help or make the game more successful. At the end of the day, that's really all that matters.
that's what we all want.
Right, for the game to improve and grow internationally, and and the game is growing internationally actually right now very well, to be honest, because we're running the first world junior mixed doubles at the Saville this year in May.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. That is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah, and 29 nations.
U.S. just had our trials.
29.
Yeah, so that's pretty
Holy
cool.
smokes.
So that shows international
Yeah.
growth.
What's that compared to like adult worlds for mixed doubles? There's like 30. There's like 32 at the A's. Then there's
I
another
don't
bunch
know.
at the B's.
Yeah, there's
There's still like
a lot.
there's still like an A and a B qualifier.
Yeah, I don't know the numbers.
Yeah.
Don't know.
But
it's
yeah,
a cluster.
but for juniors, that's a lot.
Well, first one.
That's still a lot.
I was very happy with that number. Yeah,
I think
great.
for juniors, they should always let it be every country who signs up. I don't think there should be an A and a B
and there's not
for junior mix. Yeah, and I'm glad, but there used to not be an A and a B for regular mixed doubles either.
right. Well, there's so much
and-
interest still in.
Yeah.
you almost have to because
Probably they
60
do
teams
now,
or 70,
but
that's
like
a pretty big event to run
for juniors,
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome if there
Right.
was 60 different kids from
Yeah.
60 different countries there,
Yep.
and that's an experience they'll
never forget.
never
No, that's
forget.
right.
Even if you're in the bottom 20
matter.
teams, 40 teams, whatever. Like
Yeah.
you were there and you saw all these people, and if you got to lose in B final, if you're the 50th place team in the B final, like you don't even feel like you were part of anything.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know. I'd like to see it just be one giant
Big
mess
fun,
of a bond
big
spiel.
fun,
Yeah.
fun event. Yeah.
I'm sure the organizers are gonna really love making that bracket.
Oh, that'll be. I think
it's
that'll be
so
my job.
There you go.
I'll be doing the bracket. Yeah.
Oh, so you're gonna have to? Do you have to seat? Well, teams ought to be seated at some point.
I don't
right?
think
Or
there's
like
seating. It's the first
like
time.
the
and
first
wouldn't
time,
be
but like,
yeah. How
can
would
you-
you seat anybody?
can you-
No way to know.
probably can't take in points from.
Yeah, it'll be
others.
interesting. That'll be a discussion with World Curling as to how we do the draw, and of course, getting the travel visas and all that type of stuff makes it difficult for some of the nations. So, will there be 29 that actually walk in the door, or will it be
Sure.
28, 27?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
hard to say.
sure. Yeah, I would imagine some of those might be a little tricky.
Right. The draw would be easier with 28 or
We
27.
know Bo. We could probably grease the wheels for you a little bit if you
Yeah.
if you
Oh,
need.
just
Yeah.
get somebody booted out. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Start-
You need
Start
a
with
good,
Canada.
You need a
Get
good
rid of
draw
the-
number.
oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Better keep them. They're the home team.
But it's exciting. We're very, very excited to have it at the Saville Center.
Yeah. I don't know what you got. What do you got?
I have a question. So you guys have Warren Hansen on.
With Inside Curling. Yep.
Yeah. And I feel like you might have been over here most of your playing career, and Warren was about as far away from
Certainly for a lot of it, yeah.
question. Like I feel like there's
From
not
a bureaucratic level on the game.
like not much more like polar opposites.
Yeah.
Well,
that all came from the boycott, right? The Grand
Sure.
Slam boycott, which was very important, and obviously it was a good idea. Now, looking in the rearview mirror, it was very necessary for the game. But at the time, Warren was running the Briar and the Scotties, and the boycott was the top 18. 18. Well, actually, we had more than that at one point. 19 of the top 20 was signed to not play.
So yeah, we should probably
Not playing the Briar.
We should probably break that down a little bit. Some of our audience might not know about go back that far in curling.
Right. Well, yeah. That's a long time ago now. Absolutely. So I guess what had occurred in the mid '90s started a big event at West Edmonton Mall on the ice with Al Clausen, who had nothing to do with curling, just a friend of mine. So we ran the event, and it was 70,000, 30,000 for first prize. It went really well. Brought on a partner, Wild Bill Hunter, who owned the Oilers way prior to that, and tried to bring the St. Louis Blues to Saskatoon in Canada. So he was a business guy who was into sports. Brought him on as a partner, and then started the Flexicoil, which is in Saskatoon in the Coliseum at 150,000 prize money. This is back in mid '90s.
The Flexicoil is just a cash
big?
deal. Or like a
Big,
cash event.
A cash event.
Okay.
Because there was no World Curling Tour; it didn't exist. Like,
Yeah.
nothing like that. And anyway, 60,000 for first, 40 for second.
Jeez.
That was in '96.
That's a lot of money.
And then
That's a lot of money.
before that event, though, because I was curling in the events and owning the events, Bill thought, Kevin, we got to buy you out of the company because you're in a horrible conflict of interest here.
Sure.
You can't own it
Yeah.
and play in it. So they bought me out, and it was all good. But it was successful, and so it made sense. Anyway, Bill unfortunately got cancer and got sick, and so that company just didn't continue, which is fine. There's nothing you can do about that. Anyway, meeting with Kevin Albrecht, who was the president of IMG Canada, which is a marketing group. He wasn't a curler either, but I went to do a speech down in Eastern Canada for IMG, and I was a little bit early, so I just went into his office. We had just had a coffee, and he was asking me, "Where is there anything with curling?" And so I had the idea of a Grand Slam of curling like tennis, and anyway, or golf. So
Sure.
just told him about it, and he loved it right away, and that's kind of how it started. That was in late '90s, '98, something like that. And then the Grand Slam of curling started in 2001, but to start it with television and with the title sponsor, we had to guarantee IMG Canada and the sponsors that 18 of the top 20 would be competing in our events and not the Briar. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen.
That's just
Whoa.
just
So that-
18 and 20
In Canada.
in Canada. Just the Canadian teams. That
Back then,
But
yeah. That
back then it was pretty much all Canada top 20 pretty much.
it's kind of the way it was, but that's what the
for the most
sponsors
part.
and the Canadian
Sure.
broadcast
Yeah,
companies
Steve Brown wasn't that good
would
back
have,
then.
Not at that point. Maybe he might have cracked that top 20 at one point, but not by '98. He was definitely out by '98.
We played Steve Feather Dust is what I called your dad, of course.
He wanted me to bring that
yeah,
up.
Feather Dust.
That was the one thing I said. You got any questions for Kevin? And he said that's the one thing he wanted to bring up.
Yeah, we played your dad in the semifinal in Lausanne, Switzerland. I'd like to say 1992. Lausanne it was a curling club with glass walls, at least on the sunny side, which was interesting to have a glass wall on the sunny side. It was in a yacht club, and so it was a lone building. You walked across like a plank type of a thing into the building, so you're out
Jeez.
on the water
Wow.
and looking at Lake Geneva and the mountains, and an incredible curling club. But the one sheet, of course, next to the glass
Oh, it was
would
probably
be a little tricky.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
you got the sun shining right
Yeah,
onto the
yeah,
ice. So,
yeah.
but we played, and your dad beat us in that semifinal, actually.
I was on that team.
Oh, were you playing?
I was on that team. I was
Were
filling
you?
in.
Oh.
16-year-old Craig Brown was shooting lead that week.
And you beat us.
We did.
You did. Yep. Yeah.
The only time.
I
I was gonna
it.
say that, but I wasn't
Remember
sure.
it. Yeah. But anyway, your dad, when everybody says clean, clean, clean to the sweepers, you know, just
Yep.
to dust, well,
Yep.
your dad's feather dust, feather dust, feather dust, feather dust. So as soon as I heard that, I'm like, holy cow. So he was, from that minute,
From that minute,
always,
you always
feather
called him
dust.
feather dust.
Always
Nice.
called,
I love that.
always called your dad feather dust. Still do.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna start calling your dad feather dust and see what he does.
He won't mind. Don Bartlett calls him that too.
Oh
So,
yeah.
nice.
Well, Donnie was on the team then too, and Dan Petrick and Kay Park, I think, was
Yep,
the
yep.
crew back then.
And we played you the next week in Bern, and
Yeah.
you beat us in Bern the
Yeah,
next
it
week.
didn't go as good for you.
In
I wasn't going to bring that up.
and,
See,
well,
see how nice I am?
it
I was going to leave. I was just going to leave it lie.
that was only one of two 12 end games I've ever played, though.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you made it.
Rolled out in 11.
You made a double and rolled out in 11, so we had to play 12.
I don't remember that.
That's
Yeah, I do not remember
it.
that.
Probably wasn't quite as memorable for you as it was the 16-year-old.
Yeah, I
but-
remember the Bern the final game. We played Marcus Egler in the final that year, and basically and Marcus, of course, home team, and they would just rope off the sheet with rope, just down the boards, and so people could have a drink and lean over the rope and be right beside you, looking down the line, and they're sitting there. They're right there. There's no,
Yep.
and it was packed because Marcus was really popular.
That's like
Team.
the outdoor spiel we had a couple of years ago. I was
Yeah.
out doing live commentary, eating my sub out
Yep.
on the sheet.
That was a fun club though too, because it had 3 sheets and then pillars and then 3 sheets.
Yeah.
But you could have
Just
spectators,
people
like the
just
spectators could
right-
walk in between sheets 3 and 4.
That's-
For the
oh,
finals,
man.
you could
And,
go right
like
up to
they're
the-
they're
awesome.
all the way around,
That's awesome.
and they're right there.
That's too
Yep.
good. Too good.
and loud.
Yeah.
And loud.
Yep.
Nice. Sorry.
Anyway, so we're talking about
Yeah.
slam stuff.
Slam
Before.
stuff.
Slam.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
we
a
got
slam
side-
star.
got
Yeah, I
sidetracked.
apologize. I
Yeah, we got
sidetracked.
sidetracked by that.
Yeah, well, no, the 18 and the 20, that's what we had to have
Yep.
Yep.
to make it start. So it started in 2001, and of course still going today, and under new ownership recently, but there's different owners, of course, along the way. But Sportsnet purchased it in, which was fantastic. That was really good, and that was in 2012, and then they owned it right up until the curling group just purchased it
How
this summer.
how long did you have to keep that the initial 18? Like, was it just like a year-to-year thing, or did they have to commit
Yeah,
for
well,
a certain number?
it didn't take long for a deal to get done because Nokia was the sponsor of the Briar at the time,
Sure.
and the ratings dropped. I think I'm right with 38% immediate.
Whoa.
Oh,
So that and Nokia then walked away. They were no longer the sponsor, so that stung them pretty good. And then of course you've got no entertainment value because
yeah. If you're trying to find a new sponsor for the main event,
and none of the good teams are there.
and none of the good teams are there, and the ratings, you can tell the ratings dropped 38%. Like,
nobody's
that's not going to bring a big.
So anyway,
sponsor.
so that didn't take too long. Within a year and a half, everything was worked out.
Got it.
Cool.
So
Well, not everything, because there's still no sponsorship on the backs of the players now as part of the agreement, but they couldn't do it, and actually it was promised that the next deal with TSN or whoever the broadcast company would be would include sponsorship on the player.
For the Briar?
Yes,
Briar and the Scouties?
and it just
Okay.
that didn't
so
occur,
then
which
so
is
the
really
deal-
unfortunate.
So the deal was supposed to be like the teams could bring in their own sponsors, or
Yeah, we're your own
the-
sponsor. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's a huge problem.
Sure.
When you've got the teams wearing their sponsors, which is wonderful at the Grand Slams and all fall, and then all of a sudden you get to play down season, and all of a sudden you can't wear your uniforms,
Yeah.
your proper
Yeah.
colors. Like when we had Uncle Ben's Rice and Mars Canada, we had 2 different uniforms, orange and yellow. Well, all of a sudden now you're Team Alberta and you got to wear blue.
red
Well, no, but those, and
blue,
then
yeah.
you got to wear.
It's
you
not
know,
your orange from
yeah,
Uncle Ben's.
right?
Yeah.
Kind of wear Uncle Ben. So it makes it really tough for the teams to be able to sell their brand Because, well, I can wear it the Uncle Ben's. It'd be wonderful till Christmas, and then, well, yeah, but after Christmas, I'm going to wear it in 2 events. Other than that, all that stuff on TV after Christmas, sorry,
Yeah.
I can't wear your logo. What do you mean you can't wear it? Well, it's not allowed. Curling doesn't allow that. Like, real tough sell.
Yeah.
So that was part of the deal, and it just unfortunately didn't happen, which is too bad.
But now can Canada wear?
Nope.
No,
Shoulder bar?
no,
Nope.
no, none of the teams still no.
Nope.
Still not.
No,
Still not.
Still no sponsorships.
But that was profit sharing was part of it, and that happened right away, which was a big deal.
Yeah.
In the Calgary Brier in '97, 18,100 people were in the building, so big money being made, and the players got nothing.
Sure.
So that had to change, and it did. So that was one of the major parts. Cleaning up the schedule it did somewhat, but it's kind of come back into conversation in the
It
last
seems like it's getting
month.
nuts. It's getting nuts now.
Here we go again. Yeah, so it's funny. Things just kind of they come back around again.
Yeah.
But so the players, which I'm not one of anymore, they need to get themselves organized to be able to fight the fight again.
There was talk of a players' union. Did that?
I
It seems like there's talk of that like every couple years, but like
Doesn't exist today. I don't
does it
think.
exist today? Like
No, like, we had a very
Yeah.
strong players association that Rob Krebs and myself. Krebsy runs the U of A program, the varsity program at the U of A at Saville Center. But in '95, he was out of Nova Scotia, and together we did the Constitution and built the World Curling Players Association. And it was pretty good until would have been 04, 05, 06, and then Sean is like, Kevin, like, enough. So then that was the end. And so I got out of there, but within a couple of years gone again. So it's too bad.
Got it.
Hard to keep these things going. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of work.
and like
And when you're not being compensated for it, I would imagine it's all just
no,
volunteer work.
It's volunteer work.
Yeah.
Totally volunteer.
and like the slams have
But
been
it's important.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't disagree.
and the slams have been sort of like a laboratory of rule changes to see what comes to the Brier, what comes to Worlds, because they did the 5 rock rule first,
Yes.
and then
And the thinking time.
thinking time first. Did they do the tick rule first, or was that was
No.
that World Curling first?
Oh no, slams.
But they all they've been eight ends for a long time. The slams have been 8 ends for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that going to come to Worlds?
I think so eventually. Basically, a businessman that was buying the slams wanted to be able to wrap it in a bow in 2.5 hours, and
Sure.
you can't do that with 10 ends. So
Sure.
it turned into 8. And
Did you-
that was years ago, though, Joel. Gee, I don't even know when that would have been.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the
20
rules
years ago or
the rules have been the thinking time went to. It seems like that went to Worlds pretty quick.
Oh, it's such a good idea.
It was a
Right.
great idea.
Yeah.
True, but like slams have been 8 ends for a long time, and the Worlds are still 10.
Yeah.
So that rule that change is kind of hanging out there.
That's
For
a
a
funny
long
one.
time.
I have a little trouble understanding that too, because 10 ends, boy, that's a big window. That's
Are there any-
could be up to 3.5 hours.
Are there any other differences
Hard to
now
sell
between slams that slams is trying to do?
Well, now this next slam in Guelph, Ontario, will be if you blank the second end in a row, you'll lose the hammer.
Yeah, I saw that. I was going to ask you about that.
That seems pretty
I
good.
saw that on social media, and
Yeah, well,
there have been a lot of
back and forth.
yeah,
Sure, and that's fair, and good on the Grand Slams as always to try new things. Awesome.
Yeah.
I never hear me bark about that, and then have a meeting afterwards with the players and go, well,
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah.
How did it go?
how do we go?
Yeah.
Are we
And
are we good? Or?
Do they do those rules like slam wide, or just like one event and see how it goes? Or is it different rules
Well,
for every event? Or
I think
is
it's
it-
just
Well, it's a private
it's-
group, so
yeah,
you
they're
do whatever
just
you want.
well.
yeah. I
but
think
like
they're just going to try it out.
all the slams, or is it just like one?
Oh no, the first time will be next event.
Just that one. Just that one.
Yep,
Event.
and
They're
And
gonna
then they'll
it's gonna-
decide if they're going
They're
to
gonna
do
try
it
it
for the
or not.
next one.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's a great way to figure out things if it's going to be
Probably.
good, bad, or otherwise. And the only scenario that scares me a bit in that one is sixth end. There's nothing in play. Do you blank?
Or you're forced.
Blank.
Yeah.
Well, no, but you can't blank 7. So you're gonna have to take a point. You're gonna have to draw.
Yeah.
Because
Or
you
if you
can't-
blank 6, then the other team's gonna be playing hard try and force a blank, or force them to
To 1. Now
force
they
them
get the hammer
to
coming
1.
home.
Yeah.
So obviously you're gonna take a point.
You can
at
play
6.
You can play guards to force them to 1, or you can just hit the crap out of everything to force them to 1.
You're gonna try to force the blank
Either way's a
scenario.
force. Yeah.
And
way's
so
a force.
6, you probably have to draw the 4 foot or just draw the house.
Yeah.
In 6, and then you have options in 7. Whereas if you blank 6, you have no options in 7. So that's right away. As soon as I heard, I went bang, like, oh, the 6th end.
Yeah.
That changes the whole game in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 might be a great idea. I'm really worried about being able to put into a corner in 7.
Interesting.
But anyway, it's happening,
Yeah.
and so it'll
be fun to see.
It'll come out in the wash. Yeah, but I do appreciate that. They're, their slams are willing to keep trying stuff.
Yeah.
It's great.
Sure.
There's no negative to that. And then if you bring all the top players into the room after it's done and go, well,
That was
what do you think?
Yeah.
that
and
was
then-
dumb.
You go,
That's happened lots in the
home and
slams
out,
too.
one again. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah, Mallett didn't miss a shot.
Yeah.
Holman didn't miss a shot, and they won again. So
Dude, talk about that team. 1-0,
which one?
107 and 9. Holman. 107 and 9.
The last 2 years.
Their last.
She's 40
yeah,
and 40 and 2 right now this year.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Talk-
pretty good.
Mallett's not much.
probably not much
Mallett's
behind.
about the same.
Yeah,
like,
but
it's just
I mean,
crazy. Those two teams right now, crazy good. Oh,
that's like a historic win percentage.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, not in curling.
And-
There's never been anything like that in curling.
Right,
But
yeah.
maybe in some other sport. But
Doubt it.
95% win loss.
And
Doubt it. I mean,
Schuster beat Mount, but like he made like the in off, like he had to make the in off off the back of the button to win. Like
Yeah, heck of a shot.
it's a heck of a shot, but like that's what they had.
But
had
then
to
the
get the win.
playoffs.
yeah, and then they lost.
Yeah, in the
again.
playoffs.
Could you, if somebody went down injured, Brett Jacobs goes down injured,
Me?
could you give him a weekend? Where do you think
One
you are?
weekend?
Where do you think you
Sure,
are
I
right
could
now?
play. Well, I can't play anything like Brad Jacobs
Wow.
anymore. No, age matters in this world.
Sure.
Would I know what to call? Absolutely.
Okay. Could
Making it-
Could you
make-
could you
making
make
it.
it? Could you, yeah.
Yeah, making it like
Iffy.
those top
If
guys.
they call,
those
let's,
top guys are so good.
let's say
we all
Brad
know-
gets hurt
Yeah.
and they need somebody. Are you gonna go in and would you be willing to go and throw lead rocks for a weekend and call the game and let
Knees matter.
Not a chance.
let Mark
If I'm
throw
playing-
there?
if I'm
Knees
throw
matter,
Skip?
Greg.
If I'm
If
playing,
you're
I'm
out
throwing the
there,
last
you're
two.
throwing the brick.
He's
Fuck
playing.
yeah.
He's playing. He's throwing bricks. He's not going in to throw any.
I'm
any
not
rocks.
playing lead and holding the broom. Oh, that's funny.
Take notice, Kennedy.
Yeah.
You're not,
Yeah.
still not good enough.
Mark and Ben would get a kick out of that. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Curling's still fun. I still love it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Do-
It's just,
do you-
just as you get older, it's just more
do you-
difficult. As
do
you
you-
know.
Sure.
Do you play men's league at all or anything? Do you,
Nope.
No curling at all,
Nope.
other than the
Other
academy
than
stuff.
Well, the only games that I've played
Yeah.
since 2014 are the Lupus Spiel.
Yeah.
That's it. And what are the
I got to play against
3,
them one
4,
time.
6 end games?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
it. Other
that's
than,
enough.
but the academies, I'm on the ice
Yeah.
a ton with the academies,
Sure.
of course.
Do you throw much when you're doing the academy stuff, or do you is it more?
Some, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had no problem throwing. It's just
Yeah. Just
Just
couldn't
move on to other
couldn't do
things.
it. Couldn't do
So
it.
we
I don't,
lot.
don't want to.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's all it was. No, I can play. I had no reason.
so we play with you.
But you asked me if I could play like Brad Jacobs.
Well,
Now, could I
I'm
play?
just more.
Can I play
smart.
twice a week in a men's league? No problem.
Yeah.
Can I play like Brad Jacobs twice a
Well,
week in a
no,
men's?
I mean-
No.
But if one of the top teams,
But you should
somebody
never.
goes out or something comes up, somebody gets real sick, going to a slam and it slams in Edmonton or close.
I'm in the
you know,
booth.
Would you come out of the booth for?
No.
I mean, if
What
you're
about
not,
the
no.
morning draws?
Yeah. What about
Well, you're not bringing your shoes along to the.
I don't bring my shoes along. No.
Got it.
But the one thing though, you never know how
I mean,
how
I
you
saw-
can do because Wayne Madaw.
I saw Mike
came
Harris subbed in an event this year.
So let's go to something. Let's do a different story.
And Mike's
Okay.
terrible compared to you.
No, Mike's not going to shoot like Brad Jacobs either. But
I'm not saying you have to play like Brad Jacobs. I'm just saying if Jacobs went out and they were like, Kev, like Brad did something. Brad got in a car accident yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I don't will anything.
He got in a snowmobile accident.
Yeah,
Like,
got in a snowmobile
but
accident.
Madal played good at the Briar for the first X amount of games until his legs and everything
Sure.
Yeah.
were hurting too
Well,
much. So,
that
was very impressive.
we had them on the podcast like right after the Briar before
right after.
before Wayne went to Women's Worlds, and he said they had fun, but like they were icing up.
He goes.
They were icing up everything in between games.
I believe, if I remember correctly, something to the effect of, I took every legal painkiller I was allowed to take that week. Was I think what Wayne Madad said. So, yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm just saying. It's like, it's not. You can still go out and throw.
Yeah,
It's
no
not-
problem.
you
No
got it.
I did find it funny.
It's all pickleball, man.
We played with you in the Lupus Spiel. Your first game back, you retired. You got some surgery.
First
done.
year in Lupus Field. Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to get you as a skip, and like this was. You told me this is your first game back since. This was like your first game since like the last,
players. Yeah,
the
the players final.
Yeah, the players.
Yep.
And
Against Brad Jacobs. That's right.
And you preemptively apologized to me, saying like, "I don't know if I can still throw anymore. Like I haven't thrown a rock in a year and a half."
Well, that was because
I just watched it. It's like whatever. Kevin.
had
like,
a hip replacement yet at that point.
Yeah, you had a hip
I
done.
just got the hip
you
done,
just got
so-
the hip done. And said like haven't
Yeah.
thrown a rock in like a year and a half. Like I'm sorry, I don't know.
And probably not
like,
real strong either.
Yeah,
Takes a while for the old hip
Whatever,
replacements
Kevin,
to get
like,
any good.
First time I think I held broom for you. Like I couldn't tell if you were coming out of the hack or not because like you didn't move. Like you came out of the hack so smooth. I'm like. I can't tell if he's throwing it. Oh, he's throwing.
He's coming.
Like,
He's
he's
coming.
coming.
Here he
Okay,
comes.
here he comes.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
yeah,
fun.
still-
That was fun. That was fun.
You can still throw a good rock every once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Oh no, everything's good. Everything's good.
Got it.
It was funny when retired. First thing I did was go out and get hockey equipment because I'd skated. You know,
Sure,
with
sure.
the kids had
Yeah.
gloves. I had gloves, skates, stick.
Yep.
That's it. And but I wanted to play hockey again. I love hockey, but I wasn't. Of course, I couldn't play since I was a kid because it was curling all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
some wine over
I
here
went-
if you want some.
Oh, I've
Want
got
some
a
wine,
drink
yeah.
going. Good. And but anyway, so I go out and get all the hockey stuff and
Yeah.
get into a men's league and
Uh-huh.
all good. One of the Oilers retires, comes into the
jeez.
curling store
Oh, jeez.
and says, "You know, I'm done with hockey."
I'm-
And so he's coming in to get, and we're both the same size. I said, "Shit, you know what we should have done? I should have gone over and got your hocky stuff.
Just trade
I'll
it.
give you my curling stuff, and away we go."
I got
But-
27 brooms I can give you.
yeah.
Here you go.
And he'd have 5,000 sticks, right? So
Probably.
anyway, it was kind of funny. It was really funny. It was the next week, only a
Who
week.
was that?
I can't tell.
That guy was Wayne Gretzky.
It was not Wayne Gretzky, but a good hockey player, and he's just retired.
was.
Didn't want to play hockey anymore. No, not
Got it.
the guy who came.
No,
to the
no, no,
store.
no. I know. Yeah.
It was him and his wife. They were going
Yeah.
to do a Friday night mixed.
Oh, sure.
And so really, it was really funny.
Got
Only
it.
1 week after.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I still love hockey. Beer, it just
Do you still play?
Do you play?
yeah,
Do-
yeah. So it's funny in Canada, the league I played in Canada, there was some pretty good players.
Yeah.
And so I asked the surgeon after I got the hip done. Even now, he says, like, if you go in the corners, do you intend to come out with the puck? I said, absolutely. And then you can't play. You can't play with that group. But in Palm Springs, he said, well, what's the average age of like the hockey guys in Palm Springs? Well, probably 70. Yeah. You can play in Palm Springs.
You're okay. You're okay. in Palm Springs.
Because they got the new rink, right? They built the new rink in Palm Desert,
Okay,
where
sure.
the farm team plays,
Okay.
and the Firebirds,
Got it.
yes, and but they have a secondary rink, which there's no seats, like it's for, and so it's good for
Sure,
beer league,
for
and
beer
little
league,
guys.
yeah.
And that's only 2
well,
miles
how-
from our
can-
place, so it's a short
got
little
it.
cart ride.
Can I ask how old you are, Kevin?
Me,
Yeah.
I'm 58.
58.
That's easy
Okay.
to figure out, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it. That's not bad.
I immediately decided I liked skiing after I quit curling.
That's gonna hurt.
And no, it's great. It's just like you in hockey. Like maybe I shouldn't have been doing it, or I didn't do it for
Yeah.
25, 30 years,
Right.
whatever. And I was on the drive home from Olympic trials when it went to shit, and called a buddy and said I'm in for the ski trip, and I was like on my phone shopping for skis on my way home from Olympic trials because I was done. So now I love skiing. So, and
That's
great.
something I've never done other than a couple of times. But
It's fantastic.
You play golf, right? You go to Arizona and play golf.
Or California. Yep.
How's your golf game? So.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm probably a 13 or 14.
13, huh?
Yeah, so
Nothing wrong with that. Go out and have fun.
I was a decent golfer back in the day, but not so much anymore.
Do you play with? I see every once in a while Don Bartlett.
Donnie B. We're about the same score. Yeah.
He
Pretty much
he posts about his Wolf games and stuff
Yep.
at his. Do you go out and play golf
Yep.
with Don?
Yeah.
There you go.
There's quite a
Awesome.
group. Walchuk. He'll
Oh, I
come
met
out. Rudy comes out lots.
Oh.
Ken Trollenberg, myself.
Man.
that team.
Brendan
Bunch of-
Botcher. He comes out a fair amount.
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah. So
Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Rudy and Walchuk, Bartlett. Yeah. And then Botcher comes and plays.
Oh man. So you good stick?
Trollenberg, you don't have the Olympic team from that year.
No.
You'll have to send-
Kenny T in the Salt Lake Olympics was our 5th.
You'll have to send Joel that picture.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's a kind of a group that goes out and plays
Nice.
Wolf.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
And then Bartlett always writes about it on Facebook.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I got
Bartlett was giving away like all his stuff, and he just said on Facebook to send him a note if you want something, and then he'll send something. So like I sent him a note, and he sent me that. I'm like,
Perfect.
love it.
Great.
Donnie B.
It's on the wall.
Love it.
Donnie
Done
B's
well.
a beauty.
That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I like Don a lot. He comes to House Hearts, and I like Don a lot.
He does a good job making sure everybody has a good time.
That's
around him.
100% true. 100%
Newfoundlander.
true.
He's
Yeah.
a Newfoundlander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah.
His mom and dad still live in Gander, Newfoundland, right? Kind of in the middle of
Sure.
Newfoundland. Yeah.
He likes to dance too. He's a good dancer.
He's a good. Well, not sure good.
Yeah, he's the best.
He's a dancer.
Donnie's my guy. Let's
Yeah,
just
Donnie
let-
B likes to
I like
dance.
Don. I like Don knows how to have a good time.
Yeah.
We could get him on the podcast, but it'd be like a 6-hour long episode. It'd be like a 6-part episode.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
So with we were talking about before with the slams being the lab of what kind of being the laboratory of what goes to worlds and whatnot. What do you want to see next at the world level? Like, do you want to see it eight ends or what change? What do you think would improve the viewership without sacrificing the game?
Well, I think the length of the show matters. Yeah,
It does.
You know, for the younger people, somebody under the age of 40, it's really tough to get them to watch a 3.5-hour show. Doesn't matter whatever
Sure.
the show
Yeah.
is. That's a long time. So quicker the game needs to be quicker. I think
And mixed doubles has kind of done that where it's like an hour and a half.
max, even less. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
So
not
that-
quite as much action, as much people happening in mixed doubles, but like the rocks are going faster. Or
The speed of play
is
speed of
faster,
play
yeah.
is way different, which is cool. One thing I'd like to see implemented, and that'd probably be at Slam first, is thinking time per end.
Sure.
So you can't pad the time.
Can't bank time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Can't
really
bank
important.
Blank.
Well,
I mean, you can
well, you
blank,
can-
but
it doesn't matter, but
doesn't-
you've
doesn't
only got
say
X amount of
yeah,
time
you
per end, so that you don't get to you save all this time to the last couple ends, and now you can have a 10-minute discussion. Well, that
Because a lot of teams will understand that both teams will put it in the 4-4 foot for the first 2-3 ends and
at the Worlds,
at Worlds, and bang 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 bang, and
right? Save a bunch of time.
Yeah.
But the problem is that slows down at the end when you want it to be high action. So that's
and when you
it's
want
kind
people,
of
when you want people to tune in at the start, you want people to tune in for the entire game. They tune in to start, like it's not very exciting to watch.
Yeah, that's where 8 ends. You really have to kind of get after it,
Yeah.
especially if you don't
Yeah.
have hammer. You've got to get after it because it's a pretty quick game, right? So, and especially if you went time per end, you'd probably be wrapped in a bowl in less than 2 hours.
Sure. What did you think about the club thing going 7?
That was weird. What a great, but what a great production! Wasn't that a great production?
The
It was.
production
Yep.
was good.
The production
Yeah,
was
it was.
fantastic. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
the crowd,
enjoyed
The
it.
crowd was right there.
Crowd was right there, and you had Matt and Jennifer
Matt and
right
Jen,
on the ice
I think both of them
interviewing.
did a really good job.
Yep.
Of not getting in the way, but still being involved.
Well, Matt was in the way some, but
But it's
Yeah.
Matt.
but it's Matt. But no, I thought it was great. I thought it was excellent. Really good production.
I can't see that happening at Worlds anytime soon.
7.
Well,
No,
Or people down
that,
on the
that,
ice.
that kind of
oh
kind
no,
of
but
production.
that was
like,
that was
that was nuts.
that was
Like,
all about that was a show.
yeah,
And it
for
was,
sure.
and it was a heck of a show. I really enjoyed watching that for sure. A couple of Carrick's best buddies were on the Canadian men's group,
Oh, okay.
so we all had kind of a reason to watch those guys because they all grew up in our house.
There you go.
So it was great to
The
see.
women's team came from our club. They're from
Yeah.
Madison.
Oh, was that right?
yeah.
they're
Okay,
from-
that's
the
cool.
women's team was from Madison, so we had a little bit more of a rooting interest in the women's games.
Yeah, sure.
But, yeah.
I thought, yes, the productive value of that was really good, and like for more of the amateur events, like the clubs or mixed or the things that events like that, like it'd be great if that happened more.
Yeah, I think the ratings were pretty good too in the end. I think.
Yeah.
It turned out
The
to be-
ratings were, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, great success. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, good on them. For sure.
Go.
No, you go.
Well, I was going to ask, did you ask your kids if they have any questions for? Because
Martin,
Martin had a
my
bad
son's
question.
name's Martin. You met him last year at the junior spiel in
Yep.
Blaine.
In Blaine.
Briefly.
Yep.
And he had just a lame question that he asked all the Canadians. What's your favorite hockey team? It's got to be the Oilers.
I think there's only
It's
one
the
team.
Oilers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Come on.
I'm like, you got to have a little
the
bit more
Houston Oilers.
creativity,
Yeah,
kid.
the Houston
So
Oilers.
Gotta love the Oilers. Yeah, I grew up though really cheering for the Flyers. I was a huge Flyer fan as a kid.
Whoa!
But there
who
weren't-
was
there
who
were
was
no-
on
there
who
weren't
was on the
Oilers
fly?
yet.
Who was? Oh, there were no Oilers yet.
No.
So who's
Come on.
who was on the Flyers? Okay, you were
Okay,
growing up.
So
Uh,
who goes in the corner and carves you like a turkey? Who's that?
Ooh boy, that's before my.
No. The hockey player, center for the Flyers, that would go in the corner and carve you up like a turkey. Come on.
it's the guy from Slapstick that they.
Slapshot.
Slapshot.
Come on, Bobby Clark.
Oh,
Come
Bobby
on,
Clark.
you
Okay.
guys.
All I could think was Mike Bossy, and I knew that wasn't it because he
No.
was an Islander.
Had a really fun time with Mike. We did a hot stove together in Yellowknife.
Mike Bossy?
Yep.
No kidding.
Jeez, that was wonderful. I was a big Bossy fan. Then we did an evening together in the territories, and Jesus, that was fun.
Yeah. So I was.
Wait.
gonna ask-
I gotta. What's a hot stove?
Hot stove is like
I asked the same thing about 2 years ago.
questions from the crowd.
Oh,
So
okay.
him and I were up there, and they could ask about curling or hockey or anything
Yeah.
else. And
Awesome.
and,
I think
super nice guy. And
I
we had a
think it's
great
a
time.
Canadian thing, Craig, because like we had
just-
we organized one for the Lupus Spiel.
Last year, wasn't it?
Or
Or 2
last
years
year,
ago?
yeah.
Recent.
Regan kept talking about a hot stove, and like my brother Mike and I were like, "What the fuck's a hot stove?" Like,
I thought
What are you
it was
gonna do?
be
Like
like a
a
sauna.
Do.
No,
Oh, I thought it was.
yeah,
Like you were in the.
Why
It
did-
made
why did-
sense when you said we were in the territories. Like, oh yeah, that's a good place to
I
do a
thought
sauna.
I thought it was just a little like cooking show or something. So,
All right.
like
Yeah.
a little, time to strap.
Anyway,
into
hot
that,
stove
but-
is normal
Got
in
it,
Canada.
got it.
it's
That's
a hot
awesome.
stove. Yeah,
That's cool.
What
it was
year
fun.
did the Oilers start?
That so
You said Wild Bill owned the Oilers for a
that was
while.
out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he owned the Oil Kings before that.
Ooh.
I was in hockey school in Vermilion, so I would have been somewhere between 10 and 15. So that's about 45 years ago.
I'm gonna guess
uh,
1972.
Is that what it was? You just Googled it?
Yeah, I
Just
just
a-
googled it. Attaboy.
Just a wild guess.
It's a wild guess.
Yeah,
That's
All
no
right.
fun. That's no fun.
Yeah.
Plus,
yeah.
they were probably terrible for a while.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was a big Bobby Clark
So,
mostly fan.
He was your. I was gonna
he was
ask
my
who
guy.
was. I was gonna ask who was your favorite athlete growing up when you were growing up.
Yeah,
Bobby
well,
Clark.
yeah, it'd be Clark. I always wore a Clark hoodie when I was started to curl. I always wore a Philadelphia thing.
Oh man. All right.
So did you hate the Leafs like everybody else in Western Canada?
Let's see. When did they win last?
Yeah, a million
I think
years
I was
ago.
only.
You
one,
might not even
I
been
think I
born
was only
yet.
1 year old, I think, or something when they won the last time. So, no, they didn't bother me much.
Okay. Well, no, all of the people that I get into all the Canadians from Western Canada that I get into a hockey conversation with, they all hate the Leafs so much because they get to play every Saturday night.
Oh, always on Hockey
And
Night
they're
in
always
Canada.
mad because,
Yeah,
my team's not on or
they're-
not on
they're
as much
awful.
as the damn Leafs because
Oh,
the
okay.
Leafs are always on. So,
Got it.
I don't know, might be a little inferiority complex. But at the same time, when you haven't won in 60 years,
Yeah.
you probably don't deserve to be the
Yeah,
primetime spot every
it's
single
pretty easy
week.
to be an Edmonton fan these days.
Sure.
Got it.
They do pretty.
Yeah,
good.
that Stanley Cup run last year was wild.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
They just rented a gas.
That was fun. Yeah,
They
that
ran out
was
of gas.
that was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
But they did good.
But,
It's all
yeah.
good.
We had Laura Walker
Walker,
on.
yes.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
When they, at the end of the
Right before
horribleness
right before they fired
of,
their coach, I think.
of the Oilers last year, when they started off so bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jeff was in the background
Yeah.
as a giant Oilers fan.
Yep.
And we asked
Craig
Laura.
asked him,
I
yeah.
asked Laura to ask Jeff how he's feeling about the Oilers so far because I had just watched the hockey game the night before, and they were, I don't know if
Terrible.
they were firing coaches or whatever,
Yeah.
but they're 1-12 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to talk about it, Craig. And then he just that was his entire
Yeah.
appearance on our podcast.
Yeah.
They were amazingly
We could hear
not
him
good to
screaming
start.
that
yeah.
from the other
It
room.
was-
And then
it
they
was
were
pretty good.
phenomenal.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
they went around.
Yeah.
All right, I have a kind of a Chris Farley show question.
Chris Farley, nice.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that call you the GOAT, one of the greatest curlers of all time, and I would probably be in that category. How do you feel about being in that category with guys like Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Messi or Ronaldo, Pele, some of the greatest soccer players of all time? Do you feel like you belong in there? Do you? I don't know. When somebody says that to you, do you?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yep.
I think that's lucky to have people think that way.
Mm-hmm.
Do I worry about it? I don't think so.
I do have you as the goat in my phone.
No.
Maybe not worry about it, but do you? Like,
Yeah, I don't think you worry about that. When you're playing the sport,
Mhm.
if you're motivated, I guess in that way, doesn't matter where you end up on the pecking order.
Yep.
But it's a lot of hard work, and you just kind of enjoy that work. And that's, for me, that was kind of the way it was. On Mondays, for example, when I was making ice at the Avonare,
Okay.
I'd get in there early, scrape the ice, get all my work done. I'd be done quick because then I could throw rocks. I'd throw all day. I'd throw
Sure.
for 6-7 hours. I
Jeez.
just have to resurface a couple times because you run out of pebble.
Yeah.
But I would love that. And so that's kind of my personality. I'd go on the pool table. I'd practice for 5, 6, 7 hours on a pool table and just to make sure I could always get the colors. Snooker always played.
Okay.
So I'd make
Okay.
sure I could clean up the
Yep.
colors. And then you could usually win if you could do that.
Jeez.
And so it's just my personality was that. Same with golf back when I was young.
Uh-huh.
I was just hit. So it's just kind of the way I was. And
Got it.
so it's weird. It's kind of weird. Like not everybody's built that way.
No.
And so I don't think you worry about, the pecking order, who's best or not best. It doesn't matter. You did as good as you could. So
Got
if
it.
people think you were, that's great, wonderful.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really matter.
You don't think about
Doesn't really
sure.
matter.
Sure.
All you did was as good as you could do at the time.
Yep.
That's all.
Like it.
Well, that was
Okay.
good enough to
Yeah. It
win
was a lot.
more than
A
just
lot.
about anybody ever.
Yeah.
So congrats on that.
I think we definitely lost more finals than anybody else ever, for sure.
You know what you got to do to lose more
Number
finals
one-
than
number-
anybody else?
Get there,
You
there.
got to
gotta
win
get there.
Yeah.
I
to
think-
get there.
Yeah, we're safe to
Just
say
like
we're
Brett Favre had more
Yeah.
interceptions than anybody else. And how do
I mean,
you?
how many times did Jack Nicklaus finish second in majors? And,
Yeah,
you know,
how do you finish second a lot? You put yourself in position to win.
to win
And,
first.
Yeah.
Do you get?
a lot of L's. A lot
Yeah.
of L's.
Yeah. Do you get recognized much in Edmonton? People, you're out the grocery store.
Yes, that's not any kind of an arrogant answer.
Yeah.
Across
No,
Canada.
sure.
Or
Across Canada.
or in places like
How about in Palm Springs?
Yeah, for sure, or Phoenix.
I'm sure
because
Palm
Canadians
Springs, a lot
A
of
lot of
Canadians.
Canadians there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest reaction you've ever gotten from somebody who recognized you in a grocery store or somewhere?
Weirdest? I don't know
That's a
about that.
great question.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
When you play golf in like Phoenix or Palm Springs, do you usually have a foursome, or will you just go out as like a single or a?
Well, never single. No, I don't do
No.
that. But Sean and I go quite a lot, like in the late afternoon, kind of like
Yeah.
because it's beautiful there to go for a run or go for a walk or go for a hike in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Come back, have lunch, and then you want to hit the pool.
Sure.
So then you hit the pool for a little while,
Yep.
and then tee off around 2:30,
Sure. Okay.
3,
Okay.
and then play 9, 11, because
It's just the way.
and then 14, and then if you want to
Okay.
go past 14, then play 18.
Sure.
But that's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we played. The two of us play quite a lot, but there's
Have
tons
you-
of people like to golf. So.
Have you ever gotten paired up with somebody and they're like, "Holy shit, I'm playing golf with Kevin
Oh,
Martin"?
well, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. But
Yeah.
I don't think once again, that's not that. I don't know.
I
I don't
get
look
it.
at.
No,
I guess
no, no,
I
I
don't
get
look
it.
at
I
that
get it.
the
I get
same
it.
way.
It's
no big deal. Like,
It's fun.
and by the time we
it's
get
fun
to the
that you're
third or
humble about it, but
the third or fourth hole, hopefully they feel the same way. All right,
Yeah, like,
this guy's a terrible golfer. We're good.
Fair.
I'm tired for helping him look in the
What do
in the
you-
cactus.
What do you get asked about most when they win
Olympics for sure.
Olympics?
Olympics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not
Unless
the-
it's a real knowledgeable curling fan.
and then it's the 09 final.
In 09 World
World
Final.
Final,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I don't know. No, I couldn't get asked about that. But the Grand Slam, building the Slam, we
Okay.
definitely hear about
Okay,
that.
got it, got it.
Oh, one particular game, I don't. Maybe the
No.
Olympic final,
Olympic final.
but
That
other
is.
than that, yeah.
I will tell you this: if I am ever, maybe not ever feeling down, if you want to pick me up, go watch the 10th end. There's a video on YouTube that has, it's just the ice audio,
Oh, okay.
and in the 10th end, you guys are sitting there in Vancouver, and the whole crowd starts singing "Oh, Canada."
Yes, that was before
Dude,
Mark had
that-
to throw.
That
That was
that is fucking magical.
yeah.
It
No,
is. You
Toughest shot in
guys,
the Olympics was Mark's next one.
Yeah, you guys had the time, and you all just kind of step back, and we can hear you just like, okay, we're gonna finish this, and John and Mark and Ben are like,
Yeah.
we gotta focus
And
here.
the umpire was nice enough to
Yep.
shut the clocks down.
Oh, they shut the clocks
They
down.
did.
Oh, okay, I didn't.
Well, we
I
had to be
never
sure
saw
of that because it takes a long time to sing a national.
Yeah, well,
You
but
usually lose a few minutes.
it
so
was-
the umpire was fantastic, and
that
then the crowd was
was
off the charts.
it's one of my favorite things to go out and watch on.
It was
YouTube.
very special.
I
very
can
special.
only imagine.
Huh.
Yeah, I have never seen a game be halted, especially not
Because of the crowd.
Sure.
because of with the crowd
Yeah,
singing. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it was
It
wonderful.
was pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got some questions. We've been talking,
Yeah.
Gavin, in your ear a long time. We're gonna ask you some questions and
Okay.
probably get into some more stories. But we'll start these. How did you start curling?
7 years old. My dad in Lougheed, so the little town.
Your little town, a little
and-
two-sheety.
and
200
not-
people.
Yep.
Yeah, 200, well, it was about 210 then.
Oh,
180 now.
180 now. I know. I knew
yeah,
that.
yeah, it was
but-
211, I think, when I was a kid, to
Okay.
be exact. But it
and
is
the
exact.
wind was blowing.
You knew every single one
Yeah,
of them,
yeah,
probably.
for sure. Anyway, started when I was 7, and Dad promised if I could get the rock to the other end, then I could start.
forgot about the bacon. You gotta get the
I was wondering about
Yeah.
that earlier,
That's
but I didn't want to
probably-
interrupt.
That's probably cooked
It's-
enough by
It'll
now.
be fine. It'll be
We'd
fine.
smell it if it
All right,
was
tell
burned.
us about how
Anyway,
you got started.
Yeah,
then.
7 years old. So then,
Yeah.
Dad, if I got the rock to the other end, then I could play the next year. So I at 7, 2 feet, 1 foot in each hack.
Yeah.
Just fired as
Winging
hard as I
it.
could.
Yeah.
And I got one over. So then I started when I was 8,
Okay.
curling in the men's league.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Great. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
curling in the men's league when I was 8, and then I started skipping in men's when I was 12.
It's a bit warm.
Holy moly.
It's a bit warm,
Yeah.
but
We'll put it out here. We'll smell.
Yep.
When did you get a sense that you were pretty good at curling?
Well, kind of good. By the time I was
Sure, kind of good.
Yeah, kind of good. But by the time I never lifted the rock
Okay.
ever,
Yep.
and I was always a little kid. So in school, in grade 10, the high school picture,
Yeah.
you know, they always put the you would know. The
Yeah, I
littlest-
do. I would know. Damn right.
Put the
What I like to say though is they put the handsome guys up front, not the short guys up front.
So
But
at the-
you just change your story a little bit, and we're right on the same page.
The two end seats were always the littlest kids at school, and then it went always to the big kids. So myself and Marcel Johnson were the two littlest kids in school.
Okay.
So I was a really small.
That's in 10th grade.
Yep, littlest kid. Yeah,
Man.
we were little. So anyway, so I never lifted the rock.
You're fairly tall now. You're what, 6?
Yeah, just over six. Yeah,
6 feet,
6'1",
6'1",
something.
yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, grew a lot in the first couple of years of university. But anyways,
Okay.
but I could throw the rock really hard
Yeah.
early, like
Sure. Okay.
and get my weight back, and could really fire
Yeah.
the rock hard. So, like harder than pretty much anybody at the club, and some of the big men that
Yeah.
lift the rock way high.
Lift the rock. Yeah.
But of course, that I didn't really understand why you would lift it, because it didn't make sense to my mind as far as physics go. Like you can't
Yep.
throw it as hard lifting it. I don't think. Like I couldn't make it work in my brain.
You couldn't make it
Sure.
work. Now I'm the opposite, where if I'm throwing peels, I have to lift it,
Still does.
and I still do.
So you just don't get your
And
hips back.
because I think I get them
So are you
back,
in the academy
but
tomorrow?
I'm not.
Oh,
No,
that's too bad.
I get them
We might
back,
be able to
but
get you
like
fired.
I learned that way.
Give him a private
I
lesson
took
before
the-
you got out of town.
I took the Ray Turnbull clinic when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And forward press, trunk lift, pull
Rock back.
the anchor,
don't-
and go. But
don't use your big muscles in your body.
and
It's real hot.
so when I switched to not picking up the rock on
such a hard-
on everything else,
It's such a hard change.
I couldn't
Right.
do it for peels.
It's real. The bacon is
And-
very, very hot. Yeah.
so-
Burn your fingers right now.
Like I could, if the ice is really fast, I'll keep it down for even firm.
Yeah.
But for peels,
You need
I
to
still
use it.
mentally I need to use it, even if I
Could
don't
even be a timing
necessarily.
issue for you though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You throw
and
so many thousands of rocks, it's hard
Yep.
to change.
Yeah.
but like Wayne was the first guy that I ever saw leave it down for most shots,
And then
but
pick it
pick it up for big weight, and I was like, oh, I guess I could do both, and so that was why I tried it
Yep.
initially, but. I noticed, I knew that you
Wait,
never
but,
picked it
what
up.
does he know?
Dumbest fucking guy in the world.
He was. That's what I said. I said that too.
That's a great
Yeah.
story. That's a great story.
That's
We'll
a
tell you
different
after the
story,
show.
but- Yeah.
Anyway.
Him and I are really close friends. Yeah.
That's
So I can say that about him. He
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
mind.
Go for it.
No.
he didn't mind when I said it, and I'm not that close of friends either. But I don't think Wayne was
wasn't
bothered
worried.
with much
No.
about what anybody thinks of him.
Wayne Madaw story. So after the one Skins game, don't know which one, but he won. And anyway, but couldn't get a text back then. There was no such thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I get an email, and from Wayne Madaw, and he says, "Hey, just thought I'd say hi," with a picture of him golfing along an ocean. Said, "Just came on to some easy money last week. Thought I'd just send my buddy a note."
Boom, roasted.
I love a guy like that. Like that's
How do you not?
that's beautiful
How do you
humor.
not love that? Right?
That's great humor. In my world, that's perfect.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, very good. So anyway,
All right. Kevin, other than your home club, which I'm guessing you'd probably call the Savile.
No, any club you've ever called your
I guess
home
yeah,
club.
any club other than your whatever you'd call your home club.
probably lied.
Where's your favorite place to curl?
Oh, that is hot. Jesus.
It's really hot. The bacon's really hot. In case you're
Favorite
thought I
place to
gave it enough
curl.
time.
Wow. Well, ever would certainly be that club in Lausanne.
Mm-hmm.
We played you guys. That was the nicest club I've ever seen.
feather dust.
Right on top of the water and the yacht. And geez,
Yeah.
looking at the mountains and oh man.
It's champagne sponsors. They're like there's
Switzerland's-
champagne
yeah.
on the
Switzerland
backboards.
Switzerland's a popular answer on this
Is it?
show. Yeah.
Well,
for
that
anybody-
club.
Burn usually
Yeah,
is right up there.
Lausanne was a
Lausanne
wonderful one.
sounds like the age demographic that we've traditionally interviewed has probably Lausanne probably wasn't an option for them to curl. So,
Yeah, it's closed now.
yeah,
Oh, they don't have that one anymore, huh?
got it. So
But,
Lausanne, probably
yeah, I'll say Lausanne.
Okay.
I was.
It's the most beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you can be standing on sheet 1 or 4, whatever it is over there.
Yeah.
And, watch your rock go by, and then you just keep turning, and you're looking
Looking
at
at the Alps.
You're looking over Lake Geneva at the Alps.
Nice. There you go. Sounds pretty awesome.
At Evian, France, right?
Yeah.
When I played at the World University Games back in 2003 in Cloud, Italy, the hockey rink, one side was all glass, and like you just looked up at the mountains, and like it's pretty nice out there.
We should get all
Very-
glass.
very
at,
nice,
We should
yeah.
get all glass at our club and just look out at the parking lot.
glass
That'd be
pickleball
great.
field.
Glass wall's not best for the great
the
curling
pickleball,
ice.
no.
They
it's
drywalled
okay.
over the back.
Yeah, at the back
windows.
window. Yeah, we can just watch all the pickleball courts. Yeah.
All right. So, what's your favorite spiel?
Well, as far as like when I was competitively curling, my favorite spiel
Yeah.
was always the Players' Championship. Now,
Sure.
the only thing more than that would be the Olympics, but can't count the Olympics as a spiel, I don't think.
Probably not.
Players is always my fave because it was the toughest to win.
Sure.
Small field, only the best of the best.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Nice.
Except for the token American team that got in for that 10-year stretch. That's how I got to go.
That's
a
how
couple
you got
times.
to go one time. Yeah.
We almost qualified
Won
once
nationals,
on merit,
yeah.
but we
Then you just won
we
nationals.
just won.
And you got to go.
No, we were the highest
Oh, you're the highest
money-winning
ranked.
American team.
Got it.
And one year we were only a couple thousand from actually qualifying,
Got it.
legit one year, but I think I played 3 times, and
Sure.
it was always
Players is tough.
just token.
Got it. Got it.
I never went over though, so
Yeah, there you go. All right. Nice. Okay. Setting money or championships aside, what is the best or strangest thing that you have ever won?
One.
Yeah.
Well, probably not money or
Not money,
Championships.
no money,
Not
no
money,
money.
championships,
Everybody would
like-
say like, "Oh yeah, $100,000 check
Yeah,
at,
no,
at,
no,
a,
no.
at
So
a
that,
skins
that
game
one
or
time I
something."
won
Yeah.
gold at the Olympics,
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
yeah, no.
Like-
We've still got the trophy at home. It's we won in Hay River. It was called the Arctic Briar. It was,
Okay.
really up north, and the winning trophy was an Inukshuk.
A what?
A Inukshuk.
I don't think I know what that is.
So in the Arctic, there's no trees,
Okay.
and so they
They have
build.
hot stoves up there too.
And there's hot stoves. The Inukshuks are rocks. So the hot stove. And anyway, but it's a group of stones built in a certain way that would let the indigenous people know where, like it's like a map.
Okay.
And anyway, but
Not sure how to help you with that.
Oh.
Shut up, Alexa.
anyway, the trophy was an Inukshuk. And we
Okay.
still have it today. Very,
Alright.
very cool.
Huh.
Are you young enough, old enough to have ever played in a car spiel?
Yes.
Did you play in car spiels?
Yep. As,
Yeah.
as a junior.
a
Never.
junior?
Yeah, as a junior.
Okay.
Played Ed Lukewich in the semifinal in
Yeah, Fast Eddie.
Vernon 1 year.
All right.
Yeah, lost to him there. And
Okay.
Vic Roger, Saskatchewan, played him in a semi
No. All right.
as a junior
So-
in a car spiel.
Nice.
So yeah, got to play him. Didn't win a car, but we
Okay.
were
Got it.
we were too.
Cool.
Definitely didn't know enough to beat
Sure,
those
sure.
guys. But we kind of got sort of close-ish.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if you're getting in the semi,
semis, but if you didn't.
that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Well,
Got it.
those guys are awfully good, who I just named.
Yeah. I don't know Vic as well, but Eddie,
Yeah.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. What's a skill or talent outside of curling that you have?
Pickleball.
Pickleball. Are you a good pickleballer?
Play quite a bit.
Do you play quite a bit?
My neighbor Brian, he maybe a couple hundred yards away, and we play about the same level, so we go and play together.
Yeah.
It's just I
Got
just
it.
love it.
Uh,
Play
for
about 2.5 hours.
For those of you just tuning in, I hate pickleball, and Kevin really likes pickleball.
I do.
So we're
I honestly do. Yeah.
we're at odds there. That's fine. What helped you along the way, becoming the curler that you are or that you were?
Well, gotta be a shout out to Jules, because he was my coach for my whole career.
Okay, Jules Ochar.
Ochar.
For those of you maybe not as familiar.
Yeah, he So he was the coach at NATE, where I went to school. So when I left the farm,
That's
Northern Alberta Institute of Technology,
There you
it's
go.
a university in Canada.
That's fine. Yep.
And he was the head coach there.
Okay.
And so I went from the farm to NATE to try to make the curling team. Same thing, you're from a town of 200. You don't know. You asked, when did I know if I was okay at curling? Well,
Yeah.
you know you're okay, but out of a town of 200,
Yeah.
you don't really know.
That's
You're-
not a, yeah.
It's a very
that's
small.
not a big deal. That's
yeah.
a pretty small sample size.
So then you go to NATE, and then and Jules coached me right till I retired.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, he
for
was
30
right there,
years.
Players. I was scrolling some YouTube today. and
Yeah, so
saw him
that's
there.
a simple answer
Yeah.
for me. That one,
Jules.
Jules. For
I'm gonna ask
sure.
about Jules. So, how much of the positive influence that Jules had on you, what percentage do you think was technical versus strategic versus mental?
I would say mentally I was pretty strong, brash, arrogant.
Sure.
Name the name.
Confident.
Confident person. So I would say not very much in that regard, but certainly technical and how to play the game properly.
Mm-hmm.
I took 90%. But all of his teams, if you look at Jules's group of players over the years,
Yeah.
fundamentally they're just so strong. They're stronger than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
His technical teaching, and that's really when we talk about the academy
So
we'll be doing here this
does he
weekend.
not-
This is all coming straight from the Jules book.
yeah. So does he not really focus on the? He'll focus on the technical part of the game, but like, there's a lot of outside parts of the game that can get people distracted. Like, does he not focus on that, or and kind of let the players be
Sure.
themselves a bit?
So the one year in the college provincials, so my now wife Shauna, all those years ago, we weren't going out yet even, but I really liked her. But we weren't going out. But
Good.
Jules could tell. Anyway, so the night after the semis, Shauna's team they won, and then we won. So we're all going to go out and have a few, and then get ready for the finals the next day. So Jules though made me stay in the room, and he put his chair in front of my door for the night. He sat there,
Wow.
drank a coffee. He wouldn't let me out of the door. So that's coaching. So
Man.
so the next
what a
day,
guy.
the rest of my team, they're having fun, and the girls' team are having fun. I'm stuck in my room.
You're stuck in your room.
And then, of course, when we get to the final, though, I'm well rested. So,
Did you
we
win?
win the yeah, well, yeah, because the other team's been having fun too. So,
Sure.
So it was an easy win. But, so yeah, that's the way. Jules, coaching 101. Yeah.
So I think that the reason I asked that, I guess, is, confidence and ability. There's so many people that have that when they're young. Different levels, obviously. But I feel like the teams that, you see the skips. And, you've seen this, obviously, over the years. The teams that rise to the top are also the ones that mentally, when they have a bad end, can get over it. They can, and they can.
I'm not sure if you can teach that, can you?
Well, I don't know
Maybe
that
a
you
little
can,
bit,
but it's something obviously that you learn with experience, and I think that is a huge part of the reason why this sport sees so many older players continuing to have success, because you just learn how to deal with
How to grind.
all those situations. And I was just curious if because you started winning at a high level earlier than most, I would say. Your first Briar, you were what, 25?
24. Yep, 24.
So
when we won the Briar. it was
Yeah.
24. Yeah.
and that's pretty uncommon. And so I was wondering if you thought that it was, was that a fluke because you were just super talented, or was that guided by him telling you, when you
Yeah.
fuck this up, don't double it down by fucking up the next end,
Yeah, maybe it was obviously be a certain amount of it through Jules, because by 91 we were 4 years in with him, 4.5.
Okay.
So certainly. But I looked at the game quite simple, really. I just felt that if I worked harder than anybody else, I'd win more.
Okay.
So I just worked harder than anybody else, for sure. I don't think anybody in the game of curling that would have been about the same age would argue that.
Okay.
There's nobody would have thrown anywhere near as many rocks. Not close.
Sure.
And with that, now I get to sit here with a metal hip.
How many rocks do you think you threw in your lifetime?
I wouldn't know, because like those Mondays where I'd throw like for the 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
Like how many would you throw? Like, it'd be
Yeah.
hundreds and
I mean,
hundreds
a lot.
of rocks. And,
Yeah.
And I generally
Hundreds
didn't
per
miss
day,
it.
Like,
Yeah, it'd be hundreds in a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So I don't know how many it would be, and say throw from 10 a.m. till I'd be off
Sure.
the ice
Yeah.
at 4:30. So it's
Sure.
5.5.
plus, like here in the States, you gotta add like
Unreal.
25% to it. So that's a
Yeah,
lot of
what's the
rock.
conversion?
Yeah.
conversion rate.
Conversion
more,
rate for that's
more
gonna
than
be crazy.
25, almost 30.
It's like 1.4 right
Yeah.
now.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's
I
high.
wish it was only 25%.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's the way I looked at it. Was,
Okay.
just work harder than everybody else. You
You can just put all your beers this weekend. You put them on my tab at the curling club.
Yeah. All right. So you're going to a Bonspiel, and you get to take your favorite team. Anybody you want, living, dead, curlers, non-curlers, doesn't matter.
Well, somebody that
Who'd you like to take? And then sub question:
gonna have a
where would you like to go?
I'm going to have a curler throw third, and a person that we still haven't played together yet, and that's Wayne Madaw. We talked about it for years.
You haven't played with Wayne yet?
Nope.
Wow.
And after we got done, like, couldn't really play together when we were playing, but retired, going, okay, we got it. We gotta do an event. We gotta. Never have. So third, Wayne Madaw for sure.
Got it.
My favorite actor all time, Robin Williams, got to be on the team.
Oh,
Because
That'd be fun.
that would be dude.
So much fun.
That would be after the
Entertainment value
game,
alone.
during the game, everybody'd be in stitches.
Yeah.
Heck
right?
yeah.
Can you imagine the fun?
That would be pretty awesome.
That's
That'd
a
be
good answer.
Do you want
And then you guys should know the next person from our discussion here today.
I think probably Don Bartlett, isn't it?
No.
Well,
No.
Girls game.
No. Hell no.
Shawnee?
No, I think let's
Jules?
see. Sean, let's see. Donnie B and I would have played like 5,000 games
Jules?
together.
Yeah.
No, come on.
Was your dad?
No, we've been down here for this long, and there's one person that
You're gonna play with Joel?
No.
No.
Well, we've done that.
He
Bobby Clark.
Oh,
Come
Bobby
on,
Clark.
you guys.
Bobby Clark.
Bobby Clark.
Yes.
All
Bobby
right.
Clark.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's pretty
Do you
good.
wanna-
That's a pretty good dream team.
Do you want to take a fifth so you got somebody if somebody gets overserved or
If
Somebody go
we
get
can't
drinks?
find Robin Williams,
somebody go get drinks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
It's hard to
do
say
you wanna-
where.
Do you want to play with like coked up Robin Williams, or do you want to play
Yeah,
with like?
which Robin
which one?
Williams? Like, you want 1975
like a
Robin
Stan-
Williams,
Can you
imagine,
or 1990 Robin
Yeah.
Williams, or 2000?
Do you want
Robin
like Mrs.
Williams?
Doubtfire
Mrs.
or like
Doubtfire?
stand
Mork.
up, like Mork, like
Mork
like
and
cook-
Mindy.
Mork and Minnie. Mork for Mork.
Yeah.
Nanu?
Which,
Nanu.
yeah. Which one? Yeah. Which,
I
which
wanted to-
Robin Williams do you want?
Yeah,
'Cause-
which Robin
Yeah,
Williams? do you
Mrs.
think?
Doubtfire
Mrs.
or
Doubtfire.
Coke.
Mrs.
Okay.
Doubtfire,
Watch
Robin
it.
Williams. Okay.
Yeah, actually watched it not long ago.
There you
I think
go.
it was with Todd Burr.
With
Him and I sat up and we watched. True story. We watched Miss Doubtfire. Yep.
Nice.
True story.
If there's anybody I would think that story would apply to, it's Todd Burr.
Yeah, that makes
Todd
sense.
It's Todd Burr.
That checks
You
out.
got you want to
Yeah.
you want to take a fifth if you can't find Robin Williams, or are you good with your
We're-
four?
I-
Good with
that's
your
a
four.
great
You can-
team.
They can play three.
Or you
That's
could
fine.
you could take coked up Robin and Mrs. Doubtfire Robin, and
Yeah, you
on the
could.
same team.
You could
Yeah,
have both.
It doesn't matter.
Nope, I've never
No,
met him.
never met
Gee,
Bobby
I'd
Clark.
love to. I would love to, but I
Is he
never
still
had the
alive?
chance.
Is he dead?
Bobby Clark?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's still-
Google it, Joel. Is Bobby
Bobby
Clark
Clark,
still
he's
alive?
still- he's still
I can,
We'll-
I can ask the last
We'll
song.
riff.
Yeah.
He's
while
still. He's still.
you-
No,
he's
I
still.
can- I-
he's
I
still
can
good.
ask.
He's still good.
I can ask the
Yeah,
last
he's-
question without the iPad. All right, you got a. You're familiar with the tradition of a baseball walk-up song, of course, right? What's your walk-up song? If you got a curling walk-up song, what's your walk-up song?
Sorry, check out the picture. of
Bobby Clark,
Look at
75 years old.
Great.
What a guy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
a
put
good
this up.
picture.
Like
Yeah.
he was
I'll-
one rough hockey player. Yeah,
I'll put this
We'll
up
put it
right
up
here.
on
on
the
the
podcast.
podcast.
I was fairly
Yeah.
rough
Yeah.
hockey player
That's-
as well. So
That's
Yeah.
a great picture that Comes
I
up
mean,
to
that's
I am not a rough hockey player.
that's no helmets. That's no mouth guards. That's no nothing.
That's
back
what
in the
happens
day.
when you go into the board.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens when you go into the corner and come out with the puck.
Yeah, your orthopedic surgeon was worried about your hip. Your dentist would be worried about your teeth going into the corner.
What are they called? Like the Branch Street Bruisers or the
Broad Street.
Broad Street
Broad Street
Bruisers.
Bullies, wasn't it?
Bullies.
Bullies.
Okay.
And
So,
they were. They
Yeah.
were.
Walk up.
Rick
song.
McLeish,
All right,
Walk-up song.
What's
Sorry.
your walk-up
Please.
song, Kev?
Reggie Leach.
Are you
Don-
talking about
Dornhofer.
was Drysdale the goalie on that team? Ken Drysdale?
Billy Smith, wasn't it?
Billy Smith, was he?
I think
Okay.
Drysdale. Wasn't Drysdale a Leafs goalie?
I don't even know
remember.
who that is.
Ken Drysdale?
Ken Drysdale. I was thinking.
Might have to look that up.
All right. When did
Who
Ron
the goalie in
when
the-
did Ron Hextall start?
Oh, that was
playing
later.
for-
That was
later.
Hextall.
Okay. Yeah,
Gotta
Hextall.
leave him.
All
too.
right.
Okay.
Anyway,
sorry.
Walk-up song.
What's your walk-up song? Hockey. Sorry, buddy.
A walk-up song.
Yeah. What's your
In
walk-up song?
curling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You gotta have a walk-up song. What do you want it to be when you walk up to the first tee?
First tee.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
First tee, first end, throwing.
Last end?
Yeah,
What song's playing in your head?
throwing a draw to
Yeah.
the 4-foot. Throwing
Yeah,
a draw to the side
something,
button
have
in
to be
the
something pretty
players.
active.
Yeah.
Pretty active. Maybe a little self-defecating.
Very
Yep.
interesting.
Maybe a little Beatles.
Yeah.
Let it
Very
be. Let it
interesting
be.
Turn-
eye roll there.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Yeah, good tone. Good turn of phrase there. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never thought of a walk-up song for curling. That's a very interesting take.
Hey, it's the hot questions here on our podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it be. That'd be.
Let it be.
Let it be.
All right, I like that. All right, very good. Do you normally we have a spot here for sponsors? Do you have any sponsors, or do you want to talk about your curling academy, or how can if clubs want to have you out, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so that the clubs just tended to just reach out to me at the store.
Sure.
So you just
Okay.
reach through Kevin Martin Curling. But yeah, we're booked solid this year. There are no spots
Okay.
until and I've only got about 3 or 4 clubs booked for next year. But we do about seven clubs a year is all we can do because there's just, otherwise
Sure.
busy. So
Sure, you got to go play golf in Palm Springs.
And you're
I
gonna do
wish I could do
broadcasting.
that more.
Yeah.
Yeah, got there in September to
Got it.
kind of open the place up and
Okay.
stuff, and then I got there for 4 nights last week or right before we went to Newfoundland,
Sure.
and then I'll get back there after Christmas. So I'm not
All
unfortunately
right.
not there much.
All right.
Sean is
Well,
there a fair amount, but
got it.
I'm not. But
Well, you can sure you can find a way to get in touch with Kevin. You can always email us here at the show, and we'll get you in touch with Kevin.
they're pretty fun
We can do that,
weekends.
too.
They're pretty fun weekend gigs. A lot of them.
I
are,
thought you were going to say it's a pretty fun weekend gig at Palm Springs.
Yeah.
That's
That's
probably
an
a pretty
okay-
fun weekend too.
That's okay too. Yeah,
when can Craig and I come out and play golf?
play golf?
Just let us know when we can come out, and we'll come
Go
out and play.
bash
We'll
it
bring our
around?
Cubs. Yeah.
There's some nice courses there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I got to wait till after ski season though.
Yeah. Well, that's fine.
I'm into skiing.
Right.
Where do
at
you
the-
ski?
Maybe right at the end.
Out in Colorado.
I think.
I like it so much we bought a condo out there.
Oh, so you're into it.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, very good. We'll probably chat a little bit after we wrap up the show here, but
Yeah.
thank you for coming on. Good luck with the Curling Academy this weekend.
Thank you.
Safe
And you're
travels.
welcome to come. We'll maybe spend an hour on the ice. We'll get your hips back, and
Yeah.
so you don't have to lift the rock
Yeah,
anymore.
we'll figure it
No,
out.
I'm not changing.
We're, Kevin, we're 4-0 on Monday. We don't want to. We don't want to.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess
Don't
it up.
mess it up.
Don't mess it up. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
throwing the rock pretty good.
His
Yeah.
doing pretty, yeah.
You always threw the rock really good.
So, very good.
Well,
Thank-
cut it. On that
Cut
comment,
it.
let's cut this
and
show.
Cut. End of interview.
Yeah, I'm sorry we cut that part out for some reason.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Thank you for coming, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Kevin.
Hey, thanks you guys.
All right. Big thanks to Kevin for showing up today. What a dynamite episode. Big thanks to the sponsors, as always. Modus Financial. Check them out at moduscc.com for all your POS needs. Endgame Curling. Check them out, endgamecurling.com. It's the holiday season. Get yourself a new brush. Go see Craig. Steve's Curling. He could probably set you up with an Endgame. Otherwise, order it online. It might get there in time. Who knows? Probably Probably enough shipping time, right, Craig?
Yeah.
Yep.
Still enough shipping time.
100%.
Or if you're in Canada, go see Kevin.
Yeah, go see Kevin. All right. We also have stuff. Joel can probably get it out to you. We've got some ends cards if you want those. Take them to your next bond spiel. Be a good show. I think that's it. Email the show. We need some guests for the rest of the season. So email the show. Let us know who you want on. curlingnation@curlingnetwork.com. Find us on social media. Hit us up. Twitter, Facebook. Is it Twitter? The X? Whatever. I don't know.
Whatever.
Find us. I think that's it. Right? That's it.
Yep.
I don't know. We could probably talk about other stuff, but who cares?
No.
Mike.
Joel.
I'm Craig.
And Kevin. Good curling, everybody. Out.